Hello and good day. This is Kanami Anderson, and thank you for joining me in Lotus, California for a feel-good, slow-paced yoga practice together. We'll have 15 minutes of poses designed to stimulate the main energy channels of your body so that everything will flow more smoothly and full of positivity for the rest of your day. Let's begin with some simple neck movements. Drop your right ear to your right shoulder, roll your chin through center, and then over to the other side. Keep rocking your head from left to right like a pendulum swing, timing your breath with your movement. Continue to do these half circles, or, as long as it feels okay in your neck, let's go ahead and draw a full circle with our heads. Go as slow as you'd like. Let's go 3 times in one direction. And then slow down. And let's go 3 times in the opposite direction. Continue to take deep breaths as you make these movements with your head. Okay, now let's isolate the stretch on our right side. Extend your right arm out, drop your left ear to your left shoulder, and for a stronger sensation, add a bit of weight with your left hand on top of your head. Allow your head to gently roll, tilting your chin up and down, moving the stretch across all the little muscles of your neck. Take some deep breaths here, especially into any areas where you might feel tightness or tension. Now to come out, use your left hand to push your head up and roll out your right shoulder. Let's do the same thing on the other side. So extend your left arm out, right ear to right shoulder this time, and using your right hand for a little extra pressure if you did that on the other side. Now move your head around to any places that need this extra attention and send your deep breaths there. Inhale through your nose and exhale slowly out of your mouth. Let's do this a few times. Now to come out, once again, use the support of your right hand and roll out your left shoulder a few times. Next, we'll move into some Kundalini pelvic circles. Imagine that you're stirring a big pot with your upper body and really allow yourself to let go and get lost in this movement. If it feels good, let your chest come all the way forward as you circle forward, and your spine to completely round into a C curve as you circle back. Now slow down and let's go 3 times the other way. This is a great exercise to do to start opening up the entire upper body, and it's also a fantastic way to give your internal organs a good massage. Okay, we've been seated cross-legged for a bit, so let's give our legs a break and stretch them out by coming into a wide-legged seated position. Use your hands to guide your hamstrings slightly back and thighs forward, and this should help to start tipping your pelvis a little bit forward. Flex your feet and reach your toes in. Inhale, reach your arms up, and exhale, let's fold forward. This is an especially tight area of your body and you're having some difficulties. You can always either sit up on a cushion or pad underneath your knees with some blankets. Now find your first edge of stretch and breathe into that. Slowly lift your torso up, and let's take this into a side bend. Place your left forearm on the inside of your leg, and if your arm doesn't quite reach, please place a cushion or block underneath it. Now sweep your right arm up and over, and reach energetically out your fingertips for your toes. Stay grounded in your right hip, place it down to the ground, and reach even further out your fingertips for a juicy stretch all the way up the right side of your body. Inhale, lift yourself back to center, and exhale, take it over to the other side. So root down through your left sitting bone, roll your left shoulder back this time, and reach out through your left fingertips. Take deep belly breaths in and out of your nose, and breathe in between your ribs to create lightness and space throughout your whole body. Inhale, float back up to center, and exhale, let's fold forward one more time, and see if you can take it a little further. Challenge the flexibility of your hamstrings and adductors, and really focus on sending your breath to where you feel this the most. Nice work. Okay, slowly walk your hands back in, sit back, bring your legs together, and let's take a counter pose here. Upward facing plank. With your hands planted firmly behind you, lift your hips up, point your toes away from you, and drop your head back. Slowly lower back down, and let's move on to our hands and knees for some cat-to-cow poses to warm up our spine. Move through 3 at your own pace, synchronizing your breath with your movements. Inhale, cat. Exhale, cow. Okay, let's take this into a twist with some shoulder rotations. Inhale, stretch your right arm up and do 3 big circles in one direction with your arm. And then go 3 times in the opposite direction. Inhale, stretch your arm straight up again, and now thread it underneath your left. Relax the side of your face onto your mat. You can either keep your left hand planted firmly against the ground, or if you have another arm variation you like, go ahead and take that. Take some deep breaths in between your shoulder blades. To come out, press into your left hand, rise back up, and let's do the same thing on the other side. Inhale, stretch your left arm up, and 3 circles one way, 3 circles the other way. Inhale, reach up, exhale, thread your left arm underneath your right, and take the same arm variation you did on the other side with your right hand. Breathe between your shoulder blades and gently press your hips to the left. To come out, press into your right hand, reach your left arm back up, and then exhale, come back to tabletop position. Next, let's do melting heart pose. Keep your hips high above your knees as you slide your hands forward. Relax your arms and forehead onto your mat, and really focus on softening and melting the center of your chest to the ground. Now slide back into a child's pose to come out. And let's take this into our first downward facing dog, Adho Mukha Svanasana. Place your hands shoulder distance apart, spread all 10 fingers wide. Relax your shoulders and lengthen them apart from each other. Now soften the center of your chest and lengthen your sitting bones up as you reach your heels down towards the ground. Now inhale, stretch your left leg up into 3-legged dog, and exhale, step your foot to the outside of your left hand. We'll now move into lizard pose as we start to really get into our hips now that our bodies are warmer and ready to go deeper into our stretches. Start to move your hips and chest forward. If this is enough for you, stay here on your hands, or if you have more space, you can move down onto your forearms. We'll start to hold our poses for a little longer now, so we can go deeper into muscles and even into connective tissue. Find your first edge of stretch and breathe into that. Don't push too far too fast and lose the smoothness of your breath. Let's move into each stretch gently and with ease. Continue to take deep breaths in and out of your nose, and if at any time you feel any excess heat or tension, take a few exhales out of your mouth. To come out, walk back up onto your hands, shift your hips back, and come into half splits, Ardha Hanumanasana. Inhale, lengthen your spine as you draw your toes towards your forehead, and exhale, fold straight forward. You should really feel this in the back of your left leg. Take 3 deep breaths here. Now let's move the stretch to the outside of our leg. Place the outside edge of your left foot down and walk your hands in that same direction. Inhale, halfway lift, and exhale, fold as we get into our ITB and move into a gentle twist. Alright, slowly walk your hands back to center, place them down on the ground, and press back into your downward facing dog. Alright, let's do the same sequence on the right side. Inhale, sweep your right leg up into 3-legged dog. Exhale, step your foot to the outside of your right hand. Lengthen your hips, chest, and crown of your head forward as you inhale again. And exhale, start to soften your chest down to the ground for lizard pose on the right side, coming down onto your forearms if you can. Now if you're looking for a bit more of an active variation, you can always lift up your back knee in order to work on strengthening your groin and inner hamstrings. If you want to keep it chill, please keep your back knee down and focus on loosening up your hips, preparing yourself for even deeper hip openers coming up. Continue to maintain your focus on your deep breathing. Okay, slowly walk back up and shift back into Ardha Hanumanasana. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, fold, and energetically pull your toes towards your forehead to amplify the stretch. Keep your hips square in this pose by gently drawing right hip back and left hip forward in order to maintain a neutral pelvis. Now let's move the stretch by pivoting the outer edge of our right foot down and walking our hands towards me. If you're having trouble reaching the ground at all, please use blocks underneath your hands for extra support. Alright, let's move out of this stretch, come back to center, flatten your hands on your mat, and press back into downward facing dog. Inhale through your nose, and exhale out your mouth. For our next pose, I'll turn to the side so you can see me better. Make sure you have a soft surface under your knees and ankles. Either fold your mat in half and put cushions underneath your knees, or move onto a padded floor. From tabletop position, slide your knees wide until you feel a stretch along your inner legs. For an easier variation, bring your big toes together for tadpole, or flex your feet, place your shins parallel with one another, and lay the inner edges of your feet flat against the floor for downward facing frog pose. Come down onto your forearms and rest your forehead either on your stacked hands or on a block. Take a deep breath in through your nose and a long, slow exhale out of your mouth. If you're ready to intensify the pose, on your next exhale, start to press your hips back towards your heels. You'll feel a deep stretch in your hips, inner thighs, and maybe even into your lower back. If this is too much at any time, please just move your hips forward, and this will take down the intensity of the pose. Alright, we're already halfway through our long hold in frog pose. Only 1 more minute left. Let's really try to focus on our breath for this last half, and drop away all other distractions. Inhale, fill up on fresh oxygen and prana. Exhale, release all tension and stress from your body. Inhale, fill up on new energy, new space, and new ideas. Exhale, let go of all heavy, dull energy from your body. Take a few more breaths just like this. Nice work. To come out, do so as slowly as possible by shifting your hips forward and inching the rest of your body in that direction. Once you make it all the way onto your belly and your legs are extended, stack your hands, rest your forehead on them, and gently rock your hips from side to side. Take big belly breaths to release from that long deep hold in frog. Okay, let's move into our final stretch. Rise up, clear away any props or unfold your mat, and let's come all the way down onto our backs in a supine position. Bring your knees into your chest and rock a little from side to side. To finish, let's do eye of the needle pose, a supine hip opener. Cross your right ankle over your left thigh, making sure your ankle bone clears your thigh. Keep both feet active by flexing them. Pull your left knee into your chest and clasp your hands either behind your hamstring or in front of your knee. Make sure everything in your body is relaxed. Soften your head and all the muscles of your face. Allow your shoulders to roll back and drop down into the ground. Relax your hips so your pelvis and tailbone get heavy. And finally, smooth out your breath. Continue to take long, easy breaths. Alright, slowly release. Bring both knees in as you prepare your body to stretch the opposite side. This time place your left ankle on your right thigh and take the same variation as you did on the first side. Make sure both feet are active, and if you want to take it a little deeper, push your left knee away from you, pull your right knee towards you, and move both legs just slightly more to the right. Come back to the awareness of your breath. Let go of all other thoughts. Just focus on the sensations in your body and on your breath coming in and going out. Okay, let's release and bring both knees in and squeeze your whole body into a tight little ball. Now release a big cleansing exhale as you move into our final pose Shavasana. Please stay for as long as you can. Thank you so much for joining me. This is Kanami Anderson wishing you a beautiful rest of your day. Namaste.